in just over 1 year. On Tuesday the 8th of November 2016, the United States of America will, for the first time in 8 years, select a brand new president. The country, which is one of the world leaders in politics, business and entertainment, has a choice which will define the future history of its people. While the presidential candidates for this election have not been decided, several names have thrown their name into the contest. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Chris Christie, amongst others, have all started campaigns to win the nominations of their parties. Since the beginning of the new millennium, the US has been at the forefront of world events. The 9/11 terror attacks, the war on terror since, and the continuing shifting trouble in the Middle East. The USA has been one of the Western developing countries that have led the way in shaping the world in recent centuries. The citizens of all 50 states have a chance to choose the government and the foreign policies that will shape the next 4 years. The democratic process that will take place over the next 14 months will hopefully interest the population and capture their imagination the way that the Scottish independence referendum did last year. The Syrian conflict and similar situations in the likes of the Ukraine are continuing, so that the next president will inherit the ongoing causes and underlying problems that it contains. Russia has long been placed as the enemy of the state. The leadership of Vladimir Putin seems to be pushing the country in a direction of asserting itself in annexing land and people in the surrounding areas. This positioning of Russia as the evil enemy has been the status quo for many years. The USSR and the breakup of the Soviet state did nothing much to warm relations between the two countries. There is a real danger that the continuance of Putin and his seeming aims to make Russia a world force may lead to uncertainty in many minds about how far Putin will push and how far the rest of the world will take it. Many of the rest of the world believe some of the laws and attitudes need to change in what is commonly simply referred to as America. Mass shootings have been prevalent over the past few years, and the American attitudes to gun control, many feel, need to be educated. The use of guns has been a part of American society since the start of the country's formation. So many mass shootings have happened that the question has to be asked: has Americans witnessed the effects so many times that they have become numb to the causes and outcomes of such activity? I feel the people need to stand up and finally say that they require changes in the gun laws to cut down on such tragedies. Many Americans still live in poverty, with many families still struggling to pay their bills, feed themselves, find work, and get a proper education. The candidates chosen to battle for the presidency must be capable and willing to try and lift the lower classes from the poverty level they are in. Financial crises have affected employment, wages, and businesses in the American economy. The next president will have to try and settle the economic outlook. The United States is a country that has many of the advantages and disadvantages of modern times. Technology and modern thinking provided a kickstart to this 240-year-old country. Some of these technological advantages have been made, including the building advances that have led to the skyscraper-filled cities that are associated with America. Computer technology is also prevalent across the states. It will be up to the so-called leader of the free world to work in spreading the use and availability of such resources in order to help educate the children of the nation and develop employment opportunities within future technologies. Equality is also something that has made an impact on recent American history. A country raised on immigrants has made changes in its short history to welcome and improve the lives of those that live there. African Americans who were once slaves now live as free citizens. The LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender communities have also seen recent advances, with federal backing to marriage entitlements. It will be up to the American people also on whether to continue with the acceptance of everyone and whether it will practice what it preaches. The United States is seen by the world as a leading power in both the political and societal world. The actions and directions that the next president sets out in, forgetting any conspiracy theories or speculation about the power or the non-power of the office, will set a huge bearing on whatever happens in the near and far future, in Europe, Asia, the American continent, and across the world. The responsibility is a heavy burden on whoever is voted into the White House. Millions of Americans will be looking to them for leadership, to manage the wealth, resources, abilities, and to ensure the safety of its population. The 45th President of the United States will have big shoes to fill, an unenviable task, and most likely the eyes of the whole world upon them as soon as the result is confirmed and the inauguration is even being planned. The United States will continue its journey onwards, and although we do not know who will be the driving force behind it, the world will hope it can remain on track and push forward in the next 4 years in reaching its goals and being a positive influence on events in the rest of the world.